you're saying, Your Honor, you're saying this is a criminal matter?
Yes.
Okay, well then we need the corpus delicti. You have the identification of the person, which is me, but you don't have a person saying that they were hurt or damaged, or the crime that's saying what I did to hurt or damage the person. So how do you have a crime?
You went to law school?
No, Your Honor, I have not.
You're in a whole different ball game, and you need to come on to this ball game here.
All right, guys, we've got an absolute courtroom banger today. Judge Perkins is on the bench, and trust me, he does not play. The defendant, a self-declared sovereign citizen who apparently woke up and decided laws are optional. He's throwing around legal buzzwords like he just graduated from YouTube law school, but Judge Perkins isn't buying a second of it. What follows is a total takedown, as the judge calmly dismantles every bizarre claim this guy makes. Seriously, what would you do if you were in Judge Perkins' seat? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and now, let's jump in and watch this. Sovereign citizen get absolutely schooled in court.
I'm going to give you a $0 bond. And I'll recall it once. What is your motion, sir?
I have a motion to strike and dismiss.
What are the bases?
Basis of federal rules of civil procedure. Number one, there's no claim. There's no ratification of the claim.
There is a claim. There is a. You want me to read out I waived the reading of the information. You want me to read the allegations that have been made into the record? Do you need me to do that?
No, I don't. No, I don't, Your Honor.
I deny your motion on that basis. What else do you have to say? What else?
You deny my motion because of what, Your Honor?
Yes.
There is no real.
I deny your motion because there is a and this is criminal procedure, not civil procedure. But I denied your motion because there is an allegation here.
You're saying, Your Honor, you're saying this is a criminal matter?
Yes.
Okay, well then we need the corpus delicti. And so that's what I'm asking for. If there was a criminal matter, basically what you're telling me is that something has happened, someone has either been damaged or someone has been or either someone has been damaged or someone has something has been come up missing. And if that's the case, then that means that there is a crime. And if there's a crime, then there is the what do you have that's saying that I did the crime? What you're saying that I created this crime that hurt this person, and if I hurt this person and I created the crime, then a third thing that you have to have is the identification of the person. You have the identification of the person, which is me, but you don't have a person saying that they were hurt or damaged, or the crime that's saying what I did to hurt or damage the person. So how do you have a crime?
Okay. You went to law school?
No, Your Honor, I have not.
And where did you get that? Where did you get that from? Where did you learn all that?
I've been studying for quite some time, trying to understand what's going on. I have a different perspective as to what's being said that happened. I'm understanding more necessary for a crime to go for them to bring a crime forward. I'm understanding that a bit more.
And where did you get that understanding?
I've done some Cornell law studies. I've also sat down with a couple of friends who have had some issues. I picked up wherever I could, just started to study the law. I just started to go back through Cornell law, started to figure out what was going on and to understand the nature of how what a crime is and everything else. So just a course of me searching it out.
And you're citing Cornell law for all of that you just said to the court?
No, what I did, Your Honor, was I realized that one of the biggest portions that you have to have is you have to have the corpus delicti.
I'm seriously loving Judge Perkins' vibe here. Cool, calm, totally unfazed. It's like he's dealing with a buzzing fly, not a sovereign citizen trying to reinvent the legal system. Meanwhile, the defendant's over there quoting random laws off Cornell's website like that's going to impress a judge. It's honestly hilarious. He really thinks he's outsmarting the system. But Judge Perkins, he's not even flinching. Watching this feels like someone with zero cooking skills trying to school a master chef on how to make risotto. Just pure secondhand embarrassment. The confidence on this guy is unreal. He's literally telling a veteran judge that he knows the law better. Does he really think that's going to work? At this point, I don't know if it's delusion or just a full-blown sovereign citizen fantasy. What do you guys think? Is this comedy or a cry for help? Let me know below.
And that is in when you're being charged criminally.
What is a corpus delicti?
What do you mean, what is the corpus delicti?
What is your understanding of what corpus delicti is?
That is the corpus delicti is the law that's saying that there is a crime that's being committed. So in order to do that, you have to show the corpus delicti, which is you saying this is what happened. This is how this person was damaged. There is no
the
person.
Officer on this day, on these dates, because I got a lot of them, said that
I
you
object.
drove.
I object. The
Don't
officer works.
Don't interrupt
Okay,
me.
I apologize, Your Honor. I apologize, Your Honor. My apologies.
The officer says that you drove a vehicle that wasn't registered and wasn't titled, or titled and or untitled, that you drove without a valid driver's license, that you drove without valid insurance. Again, on a different occasion, they allege that you drove without a valid driver's license and no insurance. And then on a different occasion, they allege that you drove without unregistered or untitled or both, and drove without a valid driver's license, repeat offender, that you failed to have a trailer plate, and that you failed to secure a load on your vehicle. And on another occasion, on the same occasion that you failed to secure, that they allege you failed to secure the load, failed to have a trailer plate on your vehicle, that you didn't provide a valid driver's license. So those are the crimes. And in state of Michigan, whether you agree or not, they are crimes. So based on your motion and all of that stuff you talk about, corpus delicti and things like that, the court denies the motion. Okay, based on those reasons I just said. Now, how do you want to move forward? Because wait a minute, I'm not finished.
My apologies, Your Honor.
How do you want to move forward? Because in my experience, someone that comes into court, as you do, you do not want to take an offer. You do not believe that you need to have plates or registration or insurance. And you just disregard all of that portion of the law. And either you are going to move forward by having a trial, or you're going to take a deal. What do you want to do, sir?
Your Honor, first I want to put my objection on the record. And at that point,
whatever your objection is noted. What do you want to do, sir? Do you want a trial? You have two options: trial, or you want to take a deal.
Your Honor, I request a jury trial.
A jury trial.
A jury trial, yes, Your Honor.
Very good.
This guy seriously wants a jury trial for traffic violations. Like, he really thinks a room full of random people is going to sit there and go, yeah, blowing through 3 stop signs and driving without a license? Totally chill, let him walk. I mean, come on. Jury trials are for real charges. Felonies, big lawsuits, not for some self-proclaimed sovereign citizen who can't follow the most basic traffic laws. He's clearly trying to stir up courtroom drama like he's about to pull off some kind of legal magic trick. Spoiler alert, it's not happening. Honestly, the level of confidence is wild. Coming in and acting like you know more than a judge, it's pure delusion. I don't see this ending well for him at all. But hey, what do you guys think? Is this guy for real or just completely out of touch? Let me know in the comments.
You know what I want to ask, Mr. Gray, and you can choose to answer it or not.
Yes, Your Honor.
But what I surmise and what I've heard, and I don't know if you're alleging the same thing, is that and you basically did allege the same thing, that no crime has been committed because no person has been, the people of the state of Michigan are in danger of you driving without the proper documentation or anything like that. But I don't, and I'm gonna surmise, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, that you're gonna say that there's no jurisdiction to be able to pull you over because no one has been injured. Is that correct?
I think that what I'm saying is that the city of Detroit had an officer pull me over to say that you're not following these rules. And my stance is, okay, well, then that's fine. If we're following rules, then therefore, let me make sure that you as well as are following the rules, because if I don't do that, then freedoms are lost. So that is in which, that is the way that I proceed to say, okay, well then, if we're playing cards and we playing show me yours, if this is your hand, then this is mine, and let's proceed accordingly to the law. That's it. That's my only standing is, if someone doesn't stand up every once in a while and define the edges, then they all disintegrate and people lose rights.
And you know something? With that being said, I would agree with you 1,000%. That's why I pride myself, and I hope I'm doing a good job for the citizens that come in here, and the police for that matter, and the prosecution, that I am calling the balls and strikes right. And if something doesn't proceed as it should, then I will dismiss the case one way or the other. But in my short time on this bench, and in my time at practicing law as a defense attorney, I get this, they can't pull me over. I've heard the corpus delicti, first time the civil procedure has been thrown at me. But from the way I see it, is that you just don't feel that the police have a jurisdiction to pull you over for these issues. Is that correct?
Do I have again, Your Honor, what I feel is that if we are following rules.
I don't mean to cut the defendant off, but I've got to jump in because what Judge Perkins just said was absolutely spot on. This man really thinks the cop had no jurisdiction to pull him over, like public roads are some kind of lawless free-for-all. Newsflash. That's not how any of this works. He keeps dodging the question like the rules just don't apply to him. But everyone has to follow the law, especially on public roads. It's the lack of basic common sense for me. How do you not understand that? Instead of just owning up to his mistakes, he's out here playing legal charades and making a total fool of himself. If he just admitted he messed up, this whole situation would be way less embarrassing. Sovereign citizens really think they're above it all. But seriously, does anyone get how they actually believe this stuff? Let me know in the comments.
If I have to follow the rules, and every person out there, all of these officers, everybody else has to follow the rules. So if it comes down to it,
what I'm gonna hope that you do by the time you come back on the trial date jury trial date is gonna be March the 18th, 2025.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're probably gonna have an audience because everybody follows me on these cases all the time.
I understand.
All right, and I don't know if that's what you want, but we're gonna do that.
It's not that.
March the 18th, 2025. We're gonna have a final pre-trial date. Final pre-trial. This is to you, Mr. Bowman, especially the day before on February 17th, 2025 at 8:30. So Mr. Gray and Mr. Bowman, Mr. Bowman, I need you to have all your officers appear on that date. Who's ever going to state these allegations, so that we know that we're not just summoning the people of the city of Detroit to a jury that's not actually going to go. So all parties must appear, and that can be via Zoom. And the trial is going to be in person. All right. All parties must appear on final pretrial date and obviously on the trial date. Now, And what I would implore you to do is you need to figure out the right game, because it doesn't sound like you're playing the right game.
I understand, Your Honor. I appreciate, first and foremost, let me say, I appreciate the dialogue. I appreciate you sitting here and engaging with me at this level. So I recognize what you're saying, and so yeah, I guess it's to the table we go. So
yeah, but get your game in order, because I'm just giving
Yes,
you a
sir.
little heads up. If you come
Yes,
in
sir.
with that game on the jury trial date, then more than likely you'll lose, unless you can find one of those jurors or a couple of those jurors, or even all of them, to have some sympathy for you, sir. I don't know.
I got a whole basis for understanding, and so yeah, if you know it
Well,
it
that
is what it
basis
is.
that you outlined shortly today is not.
What was flawed in my what was flawed, Your Honor? What is
We
flawed
already
in my?
discussed it. We already discussed it. The federal rules of civil procedure that you brought up as a motion to dismiss, not the right basis. The corpus delicti, they do have a corpus delicti. They do have a crime that they say has been committed. And if you read the MCL, the Michigan court rules, and the Michigan statutes, then you'll see those crimes outlined there. They have them on the tickets. They got the statute numbers that are on the tickets. So that's not the right basis. So you're in a whole different ball game, and you need to come on to this ball game here.
Okay. All right. Okay.
What do you guys think is actually going to happen at this guy's jury trial in March 2025? Because let's be real, there's no way a jury's going to buy into this sovereign citizen nonsense. The laws he's quoting have nothing to do with his case, and the idea that traffic laws don't apply to him, that's been debunked over and over. These are state laws. If you're on public roads, you follow them. Period. What kills me is how confidently wrong he is, strutting around like a legal mastermind when it's painfully obvious he hasn't done a shred of real research. Meanwhile, Judge Perkins deserves serious credit for staying calm while this guy went on and on. If I were the judge, I'd have lost patience 10 minutes in. He could have just paid the ticket and walked away, but instead he's pushing it all. The way to trial and risking the maximum penalty. And with arguments this weak and scattered, a jury of regular people is not going to side with him over a cop just doing his job. If he doesn't get a real lawyer and fast, he's going down. Hard, but hey, maybe he'll surprise us. Personally, I think he's just totally bought into this sovereign citizen fantasy. Let me know what you think in the comments. I always love reading your takes. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure to like and subscribe. I post fresh content every single day. Thanks for watching, and take care.